ಈಗ ಎಡ್ಗರ್ ಕೇಸಿ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಪ್ಪ, ಅಮೇರಿಕನ್, ಸುಮಾರು 50-60 ವರ್ಷದ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದ ಅವನು. ಅವನೆಂಥ ಇಂಟ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಚೆಕ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಗೂಗಲ್, ಎಡ್ಗರ್ ಕೇಸಿ, ADJARCAYCE, Edgar Casey. If you have that was in 1900, 1910, 1920, he was there. He was highly intuitive in medical sciences. He was not a doctor, but he was considered to be a kind of a spiritual doctor. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಯಾರು ಬಂದು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ವಾಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೀನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡೋನು. ಎಡ್ಗರ್ ಕೇಸಿ. ಚೆಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್? ಎಸ್, ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಕ್ಲಾರ್ವಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಮೇರಿಕನ್ ಕ್ಲಾರ್ವಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ಅವನು? 1877. ಓಕೆ, 1943, 45. So what was he doing? Alla, one nimsha, mic itko please.
Edgar Casey was an American clairvoyant who claimed uniquely to channel his own higher self.
Yes, that is intuitive.
His channeling sessions happened in a trance state.
Yes.
That he would induce with the help from his friend L. Lyon or his wife until later in life when he became accustomed enough to do so on his own.
Yes.
Okay, during these sessions, Casey would answer questions on subjects as varied as healing, reincarnation, dreams, afterlife, past life, nutrition, Atlantis and future events. As a devout Christian and Sunday school teacher, his channeling claims were a source of trouble for him, because channeling was typically criticized by practitioners of his faith as being demonic. Casey, in contrast, believed that it was his subconscious mind exploring the dream realm.
It is a superconscious mind actually. It's okay, fine.
Where he believed the minds were timelessly connected.
Yes. Yes.
Casey founded a non-profit organization, the Association for Research and Enlightenment,
right,
to store and facilitate the study of his channelings as well as run a hospital. A biographer gave him the nickname the Sleeping Prophet.
Yes. Sleeping Prophet.
He was one of the 6 children of the farmers, Carrie, Elizabeth and Leslie. As a child, he played with the little folk and was alleged to have seen his deceased grandfather. He regarded them all as incorporeal because he could see through them if he looked hard enough. He found it very difficult to keep his mind on his lessons at school.
Yes.
He was taken to church when he was 10, and from then he read the Bible, becoming engrossed and completing a dozen readings by the time he was 12. In May 1889, while reading the Bible in his hut in the woods, he saw a woman with wings who told him that his prayers were answered and asked him what he wanted most of all. He was frightened, but he said that most of all he wanted to help others, especially the sick children.
One nimsha. He wanted to help others. Is a golden word. He wanted to help others. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಿಮ್ಮಗಳ ಧ್ಯೇಯನುವೆ you have to help others. Then that fairy gave him enlightenment. ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ತಪ್ಪಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ದೇವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎನ್ಲೈಟನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾಳೆ. ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ.
He decided he would like to be a missionary. The next night, after a complaint from the school teacher, his father ruthlessly tested him for spelling, eventually knocking him out of his chair with exasperation. At that point, Casey heard the voice of the lady who had appeared the day before.
Right.
She told him that if he could sleep a little, they could help him. He begged for a rest and put his head on the spelling book. When his father came back into the room and woke him up, he knew all the answers. In fact, he could repeat anything in the book. And his father thought he had been fooling before and knocked him out of the chair again. Eventually, Casey used all his school books that way. In 1892, the teacher regarded Casey as his best student. On being questioned, Casey told the teacher that he saw pictures of the pages in the book. His father became proud of his accomplishment and spread it around, resulting in Casey becoming different from his peers.
Right.
Shortly after this, Casey exhibited an ability to diagnose in his sleep. He was struck on the base of the spine by a ball in a school game, after which he began to act very strangely and eventually was put to bed. He went to sleep and diagnosed the cure, which his family prepared and which cured him as he slept. His father boasted that his son was the greatest fellow in the world when he is asleep. However, the ability was not demonstrated again for several years. Casey's uncommon personality is also shown in an unusual incident in which he rode a certain mule back to the farmhouse at the end of a workday. This stunned everyone there as the mule could not be ridden. The owner, thinking it may be time to break the animal in again, attempted to mount it but was immediately thrown off. Casey left for his family in the city that evening. ನೀವು ಸುಮಾರು ಇದೆ ಓದಬೇಕಾ?
Oh, why not?
Between 1893 to 1912, the Kentucky period. In 1893, Casey's family moved to Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and occupied 705 West 7th on the southeast corner of 7th and Young Streets. During this time, he received an 8th grade education, is said by the Association of Research and Enlightenment to have developed psychic abilities and left the family farm to pursue various forms of employment. His education stopped in the 9th grade because his family could not afford the costs involved. A 9th grade education was often considered more than sufficient for a working class children. Much of the remainder of Casey's younger years would be characterized by the search for both employment and money. Throughout his life, he was drawn to church as a member of the Disciples of Christ. He read the Bible once a year every year, taught at Sunday school, and recruited missionaries. He said he could see the auras around people, spoke to angels, heard voices of departed relatives. In his early years, he agonized over whether these psychic abilities were spiritually delivered from the highest source. In 1900, Casey formed a business partnership with his father to sell Woodman of the World Insurance. However, in March, he was struck by severe laryngitis that resulted in a complete loss of speech. Unable to work, he lived at home with his parents for almost a year. He then decided to take up the trade of photography, an occupation that would exert less strain on his voice. He began an apprenticeship at the photography studio of W.R. Bowles in Hopkinsville and eventually became quite talented in this trade. In 1901, a traveling stage hypnotist and entertainer named Hart, who referred to himself as the Laugh Man, was performing at the Hopkinsville Opera House. Hart heard about Casey's condition and offered to attempt a cure. Casey accepted his offer and the experiment was conducted in the office of Manning Brown, the local throat specialist. Casey's voice allegedly returned while in a hypnotic trance but disappeared on awakening. Hart tried a post-hypnotic suggestion that the voice would continue to function after the trance, but this proved unsuccessful.
Okay.
Since Hart had appointments at other cities, he could not continue the hypnotic treatments of Casey, but admitted that he failed because Casey would not go into the third stage of hypnosis to take a suggestion. A New York hypnotist, John Duncan, found the same impediment, but after returning to New York, suggested that Casey should be prompted to take over his own case while in the second stage of hypnosis. The only local hypnotist, Al Lyon, offered to help Casey restore his voice. In subsequent sessions, when Casey wanted to indicate that the connection was made to the person or the entity that was requesting the reading, he would generally start off saying, "We have the body." And after 20 minutes, Casey, still in a trance, declared the treatment over. On awakening, his voice was allegedly to have remained normal. Apparently, the relapses occurred but were said to have been corrected by Lane in the same way, where eventually the cure was permanent.
Alright.
Lane asked Casey to describe Lane's own ailments and suggest cures, and reportedly found the results both accurate and effective.
Right.
Lane regarded the ability as clairvoyance. Lane suggested that Casey offered his trance healing to the public. He was reluctant as he had no idea what was prescribing while asleep,
Right.
whether the remedies were safe. And he told Lane he himself did not want to know anything about the patient as it was not relevant. He finally agreed on the condition that readings would be free. He began with Lane's help to offer free treatments to the town's people. Lane described Casey's method as a self-imposed hypnotic trance which induces clairvoyance.
Right.
Reports of his work appeared in the newspapers which inspired many postal inquiries. He stated that he could work just as effectively using a letter from the individual as with the person being present in the room, given only the person's name and location. He said
Yes.
he could diagnose the physical and mental conditions of what he termed as the entity and then provide a remedy. He was still reticent and worried as one dead patient was all he needed to become a murderer. And his fiancée, Gertrude Evans, agreed with him. Few people knew that what he was up to. There was a common belief at that time that subjects of hypnosis eventually went insane, or at least that their health suffered. Casey soon became famous and people from around the world sought his advice through correspondence.
Edgar Casey was such a person. ಅವನ ಲೈಫೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಚಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಯು ದಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆರ್ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್. ನಿಮಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಸಾಧನ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನಫ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್. ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ಓನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್, you should have that brain and that heart. Heart should be filled with compassion, and that compassionate heart will give you clairvoyance or intuition. Okay? Intuition bandaga, then you will see the various methods. One example of Edgar Casey, which you have now read. So the subsequent weeks, you should do all this, the simple things of what is there in a box, or what is the card you have in your hand, or what is that you have. Idana intuition tara, it's a simple and a kind of a very primary game. But it's a primary game. But this is the starting point of intuition. Once you start practicing it, you will understand.
For more satsangs from Sri Sri Nimishananda Guruji, subscribe to this channel. Click the bell button below to get notifications. Like and share the video and spread the divine message.